you to Fox Airsoft for sponsoring this video by sending me the airsoft gun for the review. Check out their website in the description below. As an airsoft reviewer and professional man-child, I answer a lot of questions from new players, and I always suggest that they stick to the basics. Sidearm? You don't need it. Expensive replica helmet? You don't need it. CO2 rocket launcher that fires toilet paper rolls full of trash? Fun, but you don't need it. But there is one question that new airsoft players never cease to ask. Debatably, it's one of the most important. Indeed, it's a question that new airsoft players have been trying to answer for thousands of years. What is the first airsoft gun that I should buy? Worry not, my sweet bambino. Today, we're going to answer that question. For me to recommend an airsoft replica is a good beginner gun, and for it to receive the coveted title of corporate approved, it has to pass the AAA test. What's the AAA test, you impotent fool? A beginner airsoft gun has to be affordable, accessible, and available. Affordable. New airsoft players don't want to spend a ton of money on their first gun. Accessible. The airsoft gun has to be easy to understand and operate. It needs to be compatible with a variety of aftermarket internal upgrades and external attachments. It needs to have competition-ready performance out of the box so that new players will actually stand a chance against their more experienced counterparts. Available. It has to be available at mainstream airsoft retailers. Extra magazines and spare parts should be in stock all year long. Allow me to introduce the G&G Combat Machine. The G&G Combat Machine, or CM16, is an M4 airsoft AEG that fulfills all three of the AAA categories. At $154 on foxairsoft.com, it has competitive performance at a reasonable price tag. An airsoft M4 with a version 2 gearbox, it's compatible with a ton of aftermarket upgrades and attachments. The CM16 is designed to have the highest level performance at the lowest possible price. The G&G Combat Machine was designed with new players in mind. Out of the box, it has a lot of features that will help you make it through your first airsoft game. While a basic M4 isn't the most exciting looking airsoft gun, it can be customized to fit your needs as you develop as a player. This is the CM16 Light. It has a shorter barrel than its standard carbine length sister, which allows it to negotiate better in the woods and in close quarters areas. And this CM16 is part of the Combat Machine line of M4 airsoft rifles. You can pick from a variety of different M4 airsoft guns that have different features and colors, all with the same reliable internals that G&G is known for. Let's look at some of the external features of the CM16. So here at the front of the rifle you have a plastic birdcage style flash hider with a metal A-frame sight. You have a bayonet lug, a front sling point here. The handguard is just a basic M4 style handguard. It's made of plastic, spring-loaded delta ring. On the back, this is actually where you put your battery. Going down to the receiver, you have a polymer lower and upper receiver. Your lower receiver has your metal ejection button there. On the left side, you have your fire selector, 3 stages, safe, semi, and auto. Your faux bolt catch, that doesn't actually do anything, it's just for looks. Metal trigger guard, and a plastic M4 grip. Your upper receiver, you have a removable carry handle sight. The rear sight here is adjustable for windage, and you also have 2 pinhole apertures, which is pretty cool. You can actually remove this entire sight to reveal a Picatinny rail where you could attach your choice of optic. You have a faux spring-loaded charging handle here, which is pretty nice. It doesn't actually do anything, but it's a nice feature. On the right side, you have your spring-loaded forward assist, and this little door here, your dust cover. Remove it. You see your metal version 2 gearbox and your G&G hop-up unit. At the back you have a metal sling point. This is for a 1-point sling there. Metal buffer tube and a plastic M4 stock that's adjustable for 5 positions. It's also got a rear sling point on there. Something that I like about this that you don't see on a lot of similarly priced airsoft guns is they don't include stuff like a spring-loaded charging handle or a forward assist. They'll sometimes just mold it out of plastic because it doesn't actually serve a purpose. This is just a little bit of realism that they added to it that improves the overall presentation of this airsoft gun. I'm going to run through how you get this thing set up and ready to go. First thing you're going to want to do is get your battery loaded, and that goes in the front. This is a front wired AEG, not a back wired AEG. Back wired AEG, you would pull the stock off and put the battery back there. Front wired AEG, you're going to remove the handguard to install your battery. So this is called a delta ring. It's spring loaded. You're going to put your stock on the ground like this. You're going to hold down the delta ring and you're going to pull the bottom of the handguard off. So now you can see your battery compartment. This isn't super big, so you might have problems fitting different types of batteries in there. We are going to be using this Elite Force 9.6 volt battery provided by Fox Airsoft. Plug that in, and then you're basically just going to kind of fit this stuff in here. What I found was best is if you actually slide 2 battery packs next to each other in there. Then you're going to lift it back up and you're going to put it on the same way that you took it off. The top of your handguard goes in first, like that. Pull your delta ring down and this should just slide back on like that. And there you go. And put your goggles on. You're going to do a quick test. Sounds good. The gun comes with a gray high cap magazine, so you dump BBs in this little compartment here at the top, wind the wheel, make sure the magazine clicks into place like that, point the gun in a safe direction with your eye protection on. Don't shoot any BBs because you didn't wind it. Point it in a safe direction, good to go. One of the A's from the AAA test is accessibility. You need to be able to buy extra components to help you run this gun to its maximum capability. That includes spare magazines. Having multiple magazines on you is a great way to improve your performance in the field. I have a bunch of different airsoft magazines in my vest. We're going to test all of them and see if they feed. All right, so this is the stock magazine. All right, next up is this Dytac mid cap. Aries high cap. This is pretty similar to the one the gun comes with. It's like a Vietnam style 10 rounder. Elite Force mid cap. And I've got this random metal mid cap that I've had forever, so we're gonna see if this one works too. That one's not as good. So that was a successful feed with every magazine that I have. It was a bunch of different, I think that was like 6 or 7 different brands. All of them fed in this gun. That's kind of what I mean, is like this is compatible with a ton of different aftermarket parts. You should be able to find something that'll fit with this because it's such a basic gun. That's one of its best features. Another very important part of the usability of a beginner airsoft gun, it needs to have a low enough FPS so that you can reasonably use it on pretty much any field that you go to. So we're gonna do a quick chronograph test here with 0.20 gram BBs. Let's see what we get. .330, .334, .336, .338, and .332.6. So from what I've experienced, you'd be able to use this on a CQB field, but it's high enough so that you're still going to be competitive on an outdoor field. There's a little bit of fluctuation there, but that's pretty normal for an airsoft gun out of the box. They don't have perfect compression. 332, 338 that's very reasonable. Intern, is it accessibility? Another aspect of accessibility is performance out of the box. We're going to do a little range and accuracy test. We're going to see what our grouping is at about, what is that, like 60 feet? I'll cut back to the VSR10 video and see what my distance judging was there to see how consistent I am. Say that's roughly, I don't know, 80 feet. 80 feet. All right, we're just going to shoot that torso-sized box over there and see what we can do. I think that was 11, I'm not sure. All right, we'll go check it out. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I saw another one. Yeah, 10. Okay, so I think I fired either 11 or 12 times, but if I hold this up to me, that is the hit box of a player, right? That's the biggest target that you have on the field. So, if you can hit at roughly 60 feet, reasonable engagement distance for airsoft, you're going to be able to reliably hit a torso-sized target at that distance. I think that's a fairly accurate representation of what you can expect from the CM16 straight out of the box. Sick. So it's with a 9.6 volt battery. It's got great trigger response. That trigger's really snappy. It sounds pretty good. There's nothing, literally nothing done to this gun. It's straight out of the box. It's really awesome. It plays the game for you. I can't see it. Oh, there it is. Ah. It's just that easy. That's the G&G guarantee. The first airsoft gun you pick is important. It's the one thing you can't play the game without. And picking the one that you like the most is one of the most fun parts about getting started. While you might feel the temptation to pick something a little more unconventional, the G&G line of combat machines is never going to steer you wrong. Its performance, its price, and its general presentation mean that this passes the AAA test and receives the title of corporate approved. I'm interested to hear what your first airsoft gun was. Why did you pick it? Let me know in the comments. Also, a huge thank you to Fox Airsoft for making this video possible. Check out the links in the description below to get your own CM16 and stay corporate approved.
Feet.